Welcome, my dear listeners. Stay with me to get the spoilers first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen tomorrow on Y&R. Nick finally makes a terrible decision while Daniel and Tessa makes tempting offers. Let's find out the details, dear listeners. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, April 1st say that Nick Newman will make a choice that will get him into more trouble. Let's talk about what's coming up on Y&R. Tessa Porter and Daniel Romalotti Jr. will also hear an amazing pitch. Adam Newman will get more involved in Spider's old world in Las Vegas as he tries to win Risa Thompson's trust and hopefully get some information about Matt Clark. Unfortunately, Adam will have a hard time getting back to being Spider. It will make Adam think about things that he has worked hard to forget. Nick will have his own problems in the meantime because he is going to meet a guy to get some drugs. The guy will give Nick the fentanyl he asked for, and as a bonus, he will throw in something else that Nick will want to take next. Nick is already more addicted than he knows, and things are only going to get worse from here. It looks like Nick is about to go completely crazy on drugs, which is bad news because Matt will be looking for him soon. Nick is making a bad drug decision, and Tessa and Daniel will respond to Danny Romalotti Michael Damian proposal back in Genoa City. Danny will make Daniel and Tessa an amazing offer that will probably have something to do with music. Tessa and Daniel sang a song together at Danny and Christine Blair Romalotti's wedding. Will Daniel let them record it professionally or even open for him at some of his shows? Tessa may still be hesitant to accept this offer because she is trying to fix her marriage to Maria Copeland. It will be interesting to see if Daniel and Tessa agree in the end. Danny will understand either way, but he will definitely want Tessa and Daniel to really think about his idea. The Young and the Restless spoilers say that things will stay complicated between Daniel and Tessa, so don't miss what happens next for them. Let's find out a little more. Daniel and Tessa Porter are not done with the Young and the Restless. The universe just look away all problems. Daniel gave up his life to honor. Daniel and Tessa Porter broke up so that Maria and Tessa could start over on Y&R. Maria just started treatment, they aren't done yet, duh. Genoa City knows that Tessa Porter and Daniel are not done. Daniel broke up with Tessa Porter on The Young and the Restless so that she and Maria could work on their marriage again. Noble, not selfish, not even close to the point. Maria just agreed to plea a deal and is going to get help. She won't be there. Daniel took himself out of the picture for a reason that just happened. Tessa and Daniel are not finished, of course. Let's take a moment to appreciate what Daniel did. Daniel Romalotti made an effort to do the right thing. We want to say this before we make our case. It was really hard to do the right thing in the case, but Daniel did it anyway. Maria Copeland is still married to Tessa Porter. Tessa and Daniel's feelings for each other grew, but there was no clear way to end them and no place to be comfortable. Daniel looked at what was going on, thought about the marriage that was going on before she met Tessa, and then stepped back. He called it quits. He let Tessa Porter and Maria have some time to think about whether or not they could fix things. This is not nothing. That is a man choosing to be honest even though it cost him something real. We think it's great. We also want to let you know that Daniel's plan didn't work out, and the universe has a very specific sense of humor when it comes to good deeds in Genoa City. And you hoping that Daniel and Tessa Porter will get back together? If you have a hot take, send it to Amber at soapopera-magazine.com. We might even publish it. What Tessa Porter did to help Maria. We need to talk about what Tessa did before we talk about what happens next. Maria needed help, the kind of help that isn't just talking about coffee or having a heart-to-heart in a living room, the kind that needs a plea deal, a promise to get better, and willingness to give up everything familiar. Tessa talked her into it. Tessa Potter, who is in love with another man and is going through the most difficult emotional time of her adult life, sat down with her wife and made the case of treatment over and over until Maria agreed. That woman loves Maria, not the other way around. That woman loves Maria enough to fight for her health even though her own heart is in a different place. Maria agreed to the plea deal. Maria is going to get help. For the time being, Maria will not be here. Tessa stood up for her wife, which took away the whole reason Daniel stepped back in the first place. That's not ironic, that's Genoa City working at its highest level. The noble sacrifice that no longer matters. This is what Daniel didn't think about when he left in a good way. He moved back so that Maria and Tessa Potter could have room to rebuild. That was the logic. That was the point. Maria had to be there for the rebuilding to happen, and Daniel's presence made it harder for it to happen. Maria won't be there. She is going to get help. She will be working on herself and doing the hard work that needs to be done for it to get better. For the time being, she will not be in the way of Daniel and Tessa in any meaningful way. Daniel's sacrifice was made with the goal of giving Maria and Tessa a chance. With Tessa's help, Maria has now chosen to leave that situation. Daniel's kind act is still kind. It is also completely irrelevant now. Daniel and Tessa will continue to hang out. There is no buffer. There is no rebuilt marriage to celebrate. There are only two people who like each other and a situation that keeps putting them in the same room. Though we are going to say that everyone in Genoa City is dancing around. Tessa Potter still loves Daniel. That didn't stop when Daniel did the right thing. People often say that feelings don't care about noble actions. Daniel ended things to protect a marriage that is now on hold while one partner gets help. Maria knows enough about what happened between Daniel and Tessa to know what she is leaving behind while she gets better. No one in this situation is a bad guy. Maria is getting help, which is hard and brave work. Tessa fought for her wife while also dealing with her own complicated feelings. Daniel chose honor over what he really wanted. That is all true. The universe has also carefully taken away all the things that made Daniel's sacrifice meaningful, leaving him and Tessa exactly where they were before he made it. They aren't done yet. The show knows this. The fans are aware of it. The two of them are the only ones who haven't completely accepted it yet, and they are running out of reasons to keep pretending they haven't. Of course, and this is where everything starts to feel a little too real, a little too close to the edge, because sometimes the most dangerous choices aren't loud, they are quite almost invisible until it's too late. In my opinion, Nick isn't just making a mistake, he is slipping into something he may not be able to control anymore, and that's what makes this so hard to watch. At the same time, Daniel and Tessa are standing at a completely different crossroads, but just as emotional, because doing the right thing doesn't always lead to the right outcome. And that's the truth this story is quietly telling us. Life doesn't reward sacrifice the way we expect. Sometimes it just rearranges the pain. So now we have two paths, one driven by escape and other by unfinished feelings, and both feel like they are heading towards something bigger, something unavoidable. Do you think Nick can pull himself back before things spiral even future? Or has he already crossed a line he can't return from? And what about Daniel and Tessa? Are they fighting their feelings or just delaying what's inevitable? Here's what I believe. One of these stories is going to explode suddenly and the other will build slowly until it becomes impossible to ignore. And when those two worlds finally collide, it won't just affect them, it will shake everyone around them. So stay close, watch the small moments, the quiet decisions, the things that don't look important yet, because that's where the real turning point is hiding. And when it hits, it's going to change everything.